Human life is cheap in Blackford Alley, barely worth any more than the bullet it takes to snuff it out. Violence breeds violence here, until you can't turn the corner without seeing signs of a fight on the street. People hurt each other over big deals like honor and glory for their gang, when in reality, all they're doing is throwing their lives away. Every death on the street is another festering corpse added to the flames of violence that has consumed this neighborhood. That's the way it's always been. I was a fool to ever think I was above it all. Nothing has changed since I did what I did. Good people still die for little to no reason, and my life is as miserable as ever. The only difference is the guilt weighing down on my conscience every day. While I have yet to truly regret what I did, I hope that by writing this down for someone to see after I die, I can somehow ease this tension inside me. I don't expect confessing my sins on paper to do much for my soul, but at the very least it'll help take a load off my chest. Maybe help me sleep a little better at night, because these nights, it's not just the gunshots outside my room keeping me awake. I was around 10 years old when my father was stabbed and killed by the Bloody Bishops gang. Talk to anybody who knew him, and they'll tell you that he wasn't a perfect person. He was a member of the White Rabbits, a gang that butted heads with the Bloody Bishops for territory on a regular basis. That is, until the Bishops wiped them and all other competition out altogether. He might have been a gangster too, hardly any better than the ones that killed him if some of his acquaintances were to be believed. But he was still my father. Whatever he did in the streets to pay our bills, he was nothing but kind to his family. My mother loved him, my little sister adored him, and my older brother idolized him. Me? I was just grateful that I had a father who cared for me while most people I knew had fathers who walked out on them at birth. The night that he was taken away from me was the night that my life as I knew it came crashing down. I was there when it happened. My father had just walked out of our house to go about his business as a member of the White Rabbits. I still don't know exactly his job was in the gang, but I could make an educated guess. It was a well-known joke in the neighborhood that the White Rabbit's fur was only white because of all the cocaine they were packing. He was dressed in his gang color that day, presumably to announce to everyone around him to not fuck with him or risk invoking the wrath of the White Rabbits. It ended up having the opposite effect. His pristine white jacket, his symbol of allegiance to his gang, was dyed red when a member of the Bloody Bishops ran up and stabbed him in the chest. I can remember the sound of the knife piercing flesh. My father screamed of surprise. The fear in his voice and the cracking of his ribs as the knife forced its way into his heart. His attacker kept stabbing his already collapsed body over and over again. Just to make sure that he was never going to get up again. can only pray that he was already dead by the first stab, and that I only imagine the sounds of gurgling that I heard that day. My father's killer was not a well-known gang member when I first saw him. He was little more than another hoodlum from the Bloody Bishops who killed a man from a rival gang just to boost his street cred. But I burned the image of his face into my mind. It haunted me every night for the remainder of my short childhood. After my father's death, my mother fell into depression. My sister and I tried her best to comfort her, but being children, neither her nor I could do much to help support our family. My older brother, driven by rage and grief, joined the White Rabbits in an attempt to continue our father's legacy. It might have been a legacy of crime and violence, but I suppose in his mind it was a way to keep our father alive in his heart. He died in the same gang war that wiped out all competition for the Bloody Bishops, shot in the neck in the middle of a firefight, and left to bleed out on the cold concrete ground by ally and enemy alike. I only hope he had some sense of inner peace as he died fighting for our father. My mother was devastated after my father died, but she broke entirely when my older brother joined him. She was already throwing herself into her multiple part-time jobs to help raise us without our father's blood money paying our bills. When my brother died, She hardly ever came home sober anymore. What little time she didn't spend working, she spent at the local pub drinking her troubles away, only to come home drunk in the wee hours of the morning for not nearly enough rest before her next shift. Because of that, I had to take over caring for my little sister, Natalie. She was always a well-behaved girl. The most precious little thing in the world, not to mention unusually optimistic. I swear, you could throw shit at her face, and she'd use it as fertilizer for a flower to give to you. She was a welcome ray of constant sunshine in my otherwise bleak life, even if her absurd cheerfulness made me wonder if she had a few screws loose at times. I practically raised her with help from our absent mother's money after the deaths in our family. But as much as I loved her, and worried for my mother's declining mental and physical health, I could never let go of the same hate and spite that had consumed my older brother until he succumbed to it. Since my brother couldn't carry out vengeance for our father, I decided to continue his work. I thought that by doing that, I'd be able to not make his death be entirely in vain. I was a lot more exact with vengeance than my brother was, though. Unlike him, I was able to see the face of our father's murderer, while he only saw the colors he wore. So when I spotted my father's killer years later swaggering around the neighborhood one day wearing the Bloody Bishop's red colors, I started planning. I was never the strongest kid in school, but I like to think that I was cleverer than most. Being a bit, well, quite a bit on the short side, I also didn't stand out, no matter where I was. Blending into the background to avoid trouble was basically second nature to me. For once in my life, I was glad that I looked so unremarkable. It let me stalk the man who murdered my father, with him none the wiser to my presence. He seemed to be on the young side, barely into his 20s by the looks of it. Everywhere he went, he did so in an aggressive swagger that demanded everyone's fear and attention. I can only assume that he was only a teenager when he killed my father. Not that that made him any less evil in my eyes. I wasn't about to forgive him, just because he was a minor when he ruined life for my family. After stalking my father's murderer for weeks and memorizing his usual routes and routines, I finally learned his name, Sam Tenshanks Smith. Yeah, I was a bit confused about the nickname too at first. Then I overheard him bragging to some mates about the story that earned him that prestigious title. According to him, he got the nickname after he stabbed a senior member of a rival gang 10 times when he was only 15. A rival gang called the White Rabbits that no longer exists after the Bloody Bishops put an end to them, once and for all. He even claimed that he was part of the final firefight. I put two and two together, and my rage reached a boiling point. That senior gang member he seemed so proud of killing was my father. That final firefight with the White Rabbits was the one where my older brother died. And although the exact details of my father's murder have faded over the years, I knew for a fact that the bastard stabbed him way more than just 10 times. At the time, it felt to me like 10 Shanks reveled in killing members of my family. But deep down, I knew he was just some punk who killed for the glory he got from it. A simple-minded mad dog that the bloody bishops pat on the head every time he's sent out to kill their enemies. That didn't make me want to kill him any less, though. I waited until I knew all of Sam's little habits by heart before striking. The reverence he showed when talking to senior gang members in contrast to his flippant tone with his parents. The favorite shows he'd always make time for to watch at home every week. His favorite food, the paths he took, and the friends he met. I learned it all, hoping that any information at all would help give me an edge to my quarry. In truth, I think I may have been putting it off for as long as possible out of fear. I'd never even been in a fight before, yet here I was planning to commit premeditated murder. However, my hesitation was not out of pity for my intended victim. Had I been given the opportunity to do so without consequence, I would have jumped at the chance to kill him. But if I were to be caught after killing him, or even worse, be seen by his fellow gang members in the middle of attacking him, my little sister would be left alone with no one to take care of her. Our mother sure as hell wouldn't have been able to. She barely made time away from work to sleep, much less care for her children. I don't blame her for it, but it meant that taking care of Natalie was entirely on my shoulders. If I were to kill Sam Tenshank Smith, I would have to do so in a way that would let me get away scot-free, to see my sister grow up with the kind of childhood she deserved. Other than his usual routes and hangout spots, I also studied the way Sam fought in a few brawls I managed to catch him in. I'm no martial arts expert, but even I could tell that he wasn't a trained fighter. Sure, he was taller than the average guy, and from the looks of it could throw one hell of a punch, but his techniques were sloppy despite his clear strength. It was like seeing a spiked ball and chain being flailed around, powerful, but clumsy. He always starts fights with a right hook that he puts all of his strength in, presumably in hopes of finishing the fight in a single punch. It always leaves him staggering from the weight of his own punch, though his victim is always left much worse off. Nine times out of 10, if he misses his punch, then the person he's fighting has a chance to counterattack with a punch or a kick of their own. I took note of that fact in particular. I'm no fighter. I'm probably the furthest thing from someone you'd think would pick a fight with a known gang member. The closest thing to a fight I'd been in was kicking an aggressive stray dog that was growling at my sister. But in this case, I wasn't looking for a fight with Sam. I didn't need to brawl with him to prove that I was better, or any of that rubbish. I just needed to kill him.